Dr. O. My name is Dr. Aol Eve Ojok. I am married with 7 children. I'm a veterinary doctor and retired, but I never really worked. I decided to spend a lot of my time looking after my children. So this opportunity found me. I'm looking for something that would look after my health as I was now growing older and experiencing the typical difficulties that anybody over 60 would experience. So I was introduced to Neolife. And today I want to talk about one of the principal products that is made available under the Neolife supplements. In fact, you find it in your kit, and there is a lot of emphasis in what is found in the kit. So I want to start my sharing this way. The Wonder Supplement, the story of Treenen. It was created in 1958, between 1958 and 1960. In primary school, we were taught that a person needs to eat proteins, carbohydrates, fats and oils, minerals, and vitamins. And we were told that they were very important and they were essential foods for our bodies. So we placed protein and carbohydrates on top of the list, not realizing how and why fats and oils should top that list. Now, here is the reason why. Our bodies are made up of somewhere upwards of 73 trillion cells. Each is bound by a cell wall, which we call a membrane. And this cell membrane, it is alive and fluid, or it is vibrating in nature. Within the cell, there are 2 other critical organelles. The cell nucleus, which is the command center, instructing the cell what to do, and also the mitochondria, which are the little factories within the cells producing specific substances, including energy, amongst others. All these membranes are composed of a very special substance, which is known as a phospholipid. Now, there are 3 essential oils or fatty acids known as lipids and sterols. The 2 essential lipids are known as linolenic and linoleic acid. The sterol is known as arachidonic acid, which is involved in hormone development. You know, we have bad hormones, and the bad hormones are the ones that have got a direction or steric position that is wrongly directed. And what the sterol does, and the word ster there means direction oil, it is directional, and it is involved in the production of the hormones with the correct shape so that they do not become cancer-inducing hormones. And that particular sterol is called arachidonic acid. Now, how does the body get these essential phospholipids? The body does not have a capacity to manufacture these essential oils, so it derives it from nature. Remember in Genesis what we were told, that we were to eat seed-bearing plants and their leaves. Well, these oils are found in those seed-bearing plants, and they are called whole grain seeds. Whole grain seeds have 3 parts. The first one, and you remember it in your primary school or at least in secondary, is the outer seed coats, which is the bran and the fiber. Then the second one, the bigger portion, is called the inner endosperm. And then the third one is the little flat germ or seed leaf. And I hope we remember those. Unfortunately, when we take the whole grain to our miller, they remove the seed coat and the germinal leaf with the idea of increasing how long it can stay on the shelf, because that oil can cause rancidity or spoiling, as we all know it. Also, for the sake of increased easy digestibility, because you can imagine the outer hard tough coat of, say, maize, it is harder to digest. So those 2 critical things are removed. Now, in that process, the essential fatty acid known as the phytolipids, which is another word for plant oils, are lost. So, without realizing it, we are now doing what? Eating our way slowly to death with our polished rice, maize, wheat, and other grains that are smartly polished, easy to eat, but they do not have what our cells need. Okay, how does the cell membrane benefit the cell? The cell membrane defines and shapes the boundaries of the cell. It keeps out unwanted substances, and it takes up essential nutrients necessary for its function. It allows waste products and other toxic substances to diffuse out, because this cell membrane is living, it is fluid, it is soft, and very intelligent in what it does, as God designed it. In order for it to work well, cells require 2 things: macronutrients and micronutrients. Now, the macronutrients are our famous proteins, carbohydrates like starches and sugars, and the good fats, such as lipids and steroids. But they also require micronutrients, such as minerals, vitamins, and then the water for hydration, and molecules like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. So, a healthy cell can then perform these essential functions. It can detox the cell, it can neutralize free radicals. And the thing about this thing called free radical is that they are very much involved with causing or generating cancerous tissues and cells. It can also communicate with other cells as living as living material. It needs to communicate with its fellow cell, particularly if they comprise a particular tissue or organ. And it responds to the body's needs. Now, what happens when it is dysfunctional or impaired? If there's impairment of performance, it results in chronic tiredness, and actually a plethora of debilitating ailments from any part of the body, tissue, or organ. You just begin to experience these chronic debilitating ailments, the diabetes, the pressure issue, something to do with your bones, your muscles, things are aching, they're not actually working well, hormonal dysfunctions. Now, cells make up tissues, which in turn make up organs, which together make up the human body. It therefore means that the health of each cell is the health of the entire body. Therefore, you are as healthy as your individual cells. And this is not just a catchphrase. Actually, it is the truth. Now let us talk a bit about whole grains. What are whole grains? The outer covering of a whole grain is called bran or fiber, and it helps to regulate blood sugar level. It helps to lower blood cholesterol, and it is therefore responsible for your heart health, and it prevents the formation of blood clots. And you know what happens with blood clots when they're in the heart, lung, or the brain. This is what will lead to stroke. Number 2, the germ, or that little leaf, germ leaf, produces what we call essential fatty acids, but because they're in plants, we call them the phytolipids. But they also produce phytochemicals. The essential fatty acids in the seed leaf, which go to compose our cell membrane, they are important for, and this happens at the cellular level, increasing absorption and utilization of nutrients by the cell by up to 50% according to research. It protects against cellular damage. It prevents poor cell division and premature cell death. The fatty acids prevent modification of hormones by free radicals that will cause cells to become tumorous. You remember what I told you about the sterols? That arachidonic acid ensures that hormones don't turn, for example, from left to, right. And then when they are wrongly positioned, when they attach themselves to cells to tissue cells in order to make them perform or act in a certain way, all that they do is to cause those cells to become tumorous. These fatty acids also stimulate greater adrenal activity that supplies more energy. That energy increases your vitality and your ability to respond to and manage stress well. Now, all of these are the multiple effects of healthy cells, tissues, and organs that are operating within the body. So together, the bran, or the outer fiber, plus the germinal leaf, they of death from inflammatory processes, for example, gout, asthma, arthritis, and colon diseases. It reduces incidences of cardiovascular disease. It also reduces diabetes, which is known as type 2 diabetes. It reduces risk of developing cancer by what I explained. It increases digestive health. And because it can now absorb minerals like magnesium, selenium, and copper, it also acts to prevent the development of cancer. Let's go on to understand a little bit now about this thing, this substance or supplement called Treenen. What is the role of this mystery called Treenen in all of this? Treenen is the industrially produced version of these exact essential fatty acids. By innovating in the extraction process, our Neolife scientists, that is biochemists, nutritionists, and the like, they were able to obtain these oils through a process known as cold press and cold processing from 3 natural plants, namely whole bran rice, wheat germ oil, and soybean. And these are not GMOs. These are just the healthy, natural plants. Treenen is cholesterol-free, and it is important that it should be cholesterol-free. And it contains vitamin E to prevent oxidation of these essential fatty acids once they have been brought together into this capsule. It also has the green coloration of the natural plant substance that we have all been taught about called chlorophyll. The name Treenen is a Greek acronym for the word 3 in 1, meaning our 2 essential lipids that I told you were linoleic and oleic acid, and 1 sterol, which I told you was arachidonic acid. Now, the importance of this supplement. When you take Treenen, it increases your energy content. It provides your essential fatty acids. It increases the absorption of micronutrients like the vitamins and minerals. It improves your hormone production, and that is the good hormones. It provides a fatty layer under your skin, provides warmth. So you notice that people with a little bit of greater endowment of fats in their bodies are less likely to feel cold like you if you're a little bit slender. It also gives you a feeling of satiety. And by that means, actually, people are able to use it to reduce on their intake of so much of this food, that food, and the other. And it improves flavor and adds a good taste to food. We like the smell and the taste of these fatty acids when they are included in what we are eating. I'm talking about the good ones. Now, in summary, these essential fatty acids or lipids that are found in Treenen, I'm summarizing the good things that they can do. It provides a healthy cell membrane, contributes to good brain function, regulates inflammation, increases absorption of fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K. It is involved in the synthesis of the good hormones, that is estrogen, testosterone, and cortisol, all of which are responsible for many physiological processes that maintain the body in a good state, which they call good body homeostasis. They keep your heart strong. And now I want to tell you a certain catchphrase that was given by a very nice lady from South Africa, and her name is Connie Dick Gale. And she says, whole grains keep your digestive system happy, keeps your heart strong, and maintains a trim waistline. In other words, it keeps your waistline in check, ladies. Now, contrary to popular thinking and word out there about fats and oils, and the idea that we need to eat more of the proteins and less of the grains, it is time for us now to have a grain revolution, because the true whole grains are the unsung heroes of a healthy nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope, having heard about this, next time you take a look at what you're eating, just know that if you add a supplement, if you must pick up the first supplement, make sure that it is Treenen, because your body is composed of what is found in that particular substance. And the health of your body cells, which contributes to the health of your tissues and your organs, is your body health as well. In conclusion, I want to tell you my story. So, like every one of you, I bought a kit, and inside I was blessed with these two interesting looking bottles. And true to what was expected of us, I began to use them. The effect, now we are told that wait for something like 2 to 3 months to really enjoy the effects of this supplement. Well, for me, in about 2 to 3 weeks, because I'm a bit of a sporty, energetic person, I began to feel just a boost of energy and vitality. I found that I had a cheerful outlook on life. I was fairly optimistic, and I was bouncing with all this extra energy. And actually, I loved it. I quickly returned to my sporting exercises, which had started sort of running low. I found that I could increase the time, and I even added a few more things that I felt were useful for different parts of my body. I have a condition, or I don't know, I'm managing it, called peripheral nerve neuropathy. And that one also began to ameliorate as I continued taking my Treenen. Ease of sweating. I do exercise. I easily flush and sweat. And you know that sweat is so good for controlling your temperature, but also it just gets rid of poisons that are there within your body. Now, last night when I was busy preparing for this, I just took a look at my fingernails, and it struck me that, you know, these fingernails are stronger. Now, one feature about myself that isn't exciting were my fingernails. And being a little bit conscious and feminine, I would hope that people would pay much more attention to what I was saying and what my personality was, rather than these very, they were rather tattered nails, because I just kept biting them in my childhood. I don't know, I found it interesting to bite the nails and the skin because I loved to write. So I realized that now as I would put my hands in water, my fingernails wouldn't just bend over and break after about 2 washes. And I was vaguely wondering about it. But actually, this is part of the effect of those particular tissues beginning to work optimally. You can imagine that for 40, 50 years, I really did not have impressive fingernails. Wait, we made a brief trip out of the country. And where we were in Germany, within a week, I tell you, the food was so good. And it wasn't fatty foods and oils. It was just solid, good food. And like a healthy, nice Ugandan, I took good doses of it. I rapidly put on weight. But because I was on Treenen, I was able to maintain body strength and activity and to do a lot of things because my friends there love to walk, to visit, to all places. Now, when I came back, I went back into serious exercises and I wasn't eating that much. There was so much to do, but that feeling of satiety made me not really hungry. I am telling you, I lost that weight at an amazing good rate. And I was back trim within something like 2 weeks. And I realized that these are part of the benefits of taking this supplement, Treenen. I know that somewhere I decided to trim my hair, but I think that is part of the confidence, self-confidence that you get when you have an energy boost and a good sense of feeling about yourself. So you can see I've gone natural, and but what Treenen will also do is to give you healthy hair for those of you who are actually using it. So there are wonderful benefits to this, friends. And you know what? You join me in making a Treenen revolution. I have started sharing this Treenen. Whether I am selling it or I'm gifting it, if I have to gift somebody, I gift them Treenen. And so with that, ladies, I'd like to come to the end of my little presentation of this wonder supplement, which is that ordinary grain that we were advised to take in our wonderful, good, holy book. Thank you.